Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Round Trip. I'm John Sienna from Web3.com Ventures. And I'm here with Cassidy Wong from PA News. The big news this week is all the USDH stablecoin hype on Hyperliquid. It started on September 5th with Hyperliquid revealing a neighborhood stablecoin and reserving the USDH sticker. Usually they put these tickers up for bid, but they wanted validators to vote. And that's kind of when it all started. Max Figge on September 9th, he tweeted his native markets proposal for USDH. Max is a Hyperliquid maxi, and he's played a critical role in bringing top teams to the Hyperliquid ecosystem. And he's teamed up with Mary Catherine Latter, the former president and COO of Uniswap, who also built fintech and digital assets business at BlackRock, and Anish Hortry, X Paradigm, Polychain, and Ritual. So really strong team. Max tweeted and he highlighted that Hyperliquid loses over $200 million to USDC through their yield that just goes to them. And he felt that Hyperliquid's kind of just an afterthought to the Circle team. So he proposed that 50% of every dollar earned would go to the assistance fund for Hyperliquid, and the other 50% going to grow USDH adoption. It's quite significant and really bullish for Hyperliquid. That's why we've seen the price steadily rise over the week because, it just kind of all unfolded after that. So the native markets proposal, started strong and, they're continuing with it. And right now it would be native to Hyperliquid, and it's fully backed by cash and US Treasuries, and it's Genius ready, so Genius compliant. That hasn't gone into effect yet, so that's why it's more Genius ready than Genius compliant from day one. And it'd be be able to be minted and redeemed via an API. And they partnered with Bridge, so Bridge got acquired by Stripe back in February. So having their support would be really huge for Hyperliquid. And it's, the treasury management was done by BlackRock and Fidelity, and they're prioritizing the growth and on-chain collateral options. So think of Robert Leshner's Superstate, USTB, and redemption for inbound USDC and USDT. But they're not the only ones competing for this.
Well, Paxos, they're actually another huge player in the landscape where they updated their proposal, including their partnership with PayPal and Venmo, along with some ecosystem incentives. The Paxos, they actually expressed their commitment to allocate 95% of the reserve interest income from USDH to buy back all the Hyperliquid's native Hype token. So it will directly benefit the Hyperliquid ecosystem. They're also integrating Hype token to major platforms like PayPal. This is very significant because PayPal, they actually tweeted that they're all in. They want to expand the Hyperliquid community to their existing 400 million users, actually across PayPal and Venmo both. So another update on Paxos is that they actually acquired molecular labs recently, which is significant because they're the developer team behind the core components of the Hyperliquid ecosystem. So this will actually strengthen their technical capabilities. Another note is that Kraken, they also announced that they will offer free on and off ramp support for Paxos. Besides these two major players, Native Markets and Paxos, it's actually the announcement from Hyperliquid. It actually sparked an intense competition. There are also other players, including Frax, Sky, previous MakerDAO, and Agora, Athena, and also lastly Circle. But Circle said that they don't need USDH. They're planning to keep pushing USDC on Hyperliquid. So what's actually at stake here? Let's break down what the USDT USDH vote will actually mean. Winning the vote actually doesn't give anyone control over Hyperliquid stablecoin in the system. It actually only gives them the right to issue a stablecoin under USDH ticker. But symbolically, it's actually very huge because the winner will get recognized as the stablecoin issuer, and they need to best align with their Hyperliquid values, which can really help with the integrations, the market maker support, building long-term adoption. But however, USDC is not disappearing. Hyperliquid's market, they're deeply built around USDC. So the liquidity isn't going to just flip overnight. Other teams say they can actually still launch their own stable coins on Hyperliquid, even if they don't win this vote. This competition actually sparked some drama. Have you caught up with their drama?
Yeah, I mean, it was all over X. Mert claimed that this was like giving The Bachelor vibes because like all these kind of huge companies were pretty aggressive, trying to outbid each other and offering like basically 100% rev share to the Hyperliquid community and all these like, yeah, fiat on ramp and off ramp proposals. And yeah, that's just where it started. But then if you like read deeper, Hasib from Dragonfly, he was like saying that it kind of felt like a farce because, I mean, if you looked at the odds, native markets has been leading, and it's like no one has heard of native markets before this week. So he felt like there was a backroom deal already done. Um, and I mean, Paxos, it sounds like a strong, proposal. Like what they're offering, huge PayPal and Venmo, like the fiat on ramps and off ramps. Like, uh, and it also sounds like pretty native. They're native to the crypto ecosystem, but I guess like the native markets team is as well, although they're using Bridge behind them. So yeah, this also started like this, governance. He like, is the hype team going to vote? So they said they wouldn't, and I mean, with the odds like favoring Paxos and native markets, Athena, they dropped out. So I think this will get Hyperliquid to reduce, its dependence on USDC. But even Circle thinks that with this whole USDH drama, it's not going to put a dent in their issuance of USDC. So that's why they felt like they didn't need to like jump in the race. It's also kind of like cannibalizing their own business. So yeah, there's a lot of reasons that this matters.
Yeah, it actually, as you mentioned earlier, it actually reduced Hyperliquid's dependency on USDC. A fun fact, actually approximately 95% of the assets on Hyperliquid, they're currently dominated in USDC. That's around $5 billion of in USDC that's used as collateral on the platform, which means that USDC has an overwhelming dominance on Hyperliquid's TVL and liquidity. They're actually the move of creating their own stable coin. It gives them uh, it gives them more stability to their liquidity, help them generate new revenue stream from their reserve profits. It could actually help them generate around 220 million in annualized revenue for the Hyperliquid ecosystem. So that will directly challenge Circle's dominance in the stablecoin market. So that's why there's so much drama about it and a lot of competition. What gets really interesting here is that USDH isn't just another copy paste stablecoin. Governance is actually handled by validator voting, not a centralized issuer. So this make it more transparent and definitely more decentralized. Because a lot of the crypto projects they're competing on the control over USDH distribution. Um, but everyone has to play by Hyperliquid's rules, not their own. So this will actually shake up on how stablecoins are distributed and integrated with a lot of the DeFi platforms. If this actually work out, USDH, it could become a model for liquidity management and DeFi, basically making a lot of the markets more stable, while keeping users engaged, of course. It shows the trend that ecosystem will roll out their own native stable coins, not just for independence, but also for real revenue and governance innovation.
Yeah. So this all factored into how the vote is going. So after Nansen and Hyper Collective signaled that they were giving their support for native markets, I mean, it was pretty much a done deal. They control over 18% of the validator voting stake. And with the Hyperliquid Foundation and also the liquid staking provider Kinetic, who represent 63% of the stake, said they were going to abstain. Yeah, pretty much swung in native markets' favor. And they're polling at over 96% of winning today on Polymarket. So the proposals were due by the 10th, and the validator declarations were yesterday, but the actual vote is on the 14th. So this gives people time to switch validators for their stake type. But the way it's going, it seems like it's almost a done deal. In the broader scope, I think that this is significant because we could really see how the Genius Act is finally opening up the stablecoin market. A few years ago or just last year, if you wanted a regulated and compliant option, USDC was the only game in town. I mean, some people would say USDT too, but it's pretty debated like how compliant they are from a perspective point of view, but they definitely have made a lot of headwinds in terms of that, especially since Trump's got elected. Um, so yeah, that's why Circle didn't really offer any proposal, any meaningful proposal. And like I said earlier, it kind of be like cannibalizing their own business. And yeah, with their partnership with Coinbase, I mean, Coinbase was one of the biggest donors to the Fair Shake Super PAC, which helped swing this recent election. It gave them a massive regulatory advantage, but yeah, the Genius Act opened things up. So yeah, regulation could do one of two things. It's what I tweeted about. It either locks in the existing incumbents by putting up more barriers to entry, or it could open up the market by setting clear rules. And what we've seen here is it's definitely done the latter. And now the playing field's more level, where we could have new entrants into the market, make meaningful proposals, and come out in the lead. So I think overall this is a huge win for the ecosystem. So glad to see it. Uh, what do you think? What's your wrap up and summation of this?
Well, I think the bottom line here, USDH, it's more than just another token. It's surely a milestone that signals where stablecoins are headed. It's becoming more competitive, more ecosystem driven, and potentially setting new standards for transparency and compliance. Especially in this competitive stablecoin market landscape, a lot of people have joined the competition.
Yeah. Well, let's see how the vote goes. Thanks for joining us on the round trip. We'll see you next week.